Hello, my name is Peter White. I'm the Executive Television Editor at Deadline. Welcome back to Deadline's virtual Contenders 2024, Unscripted and Documentary. We're heading to Scotland now, figuratively, where we find out what the Traitors cast have been up to for Season 2. The Peacock show, based on a Dutch format, came back for a second season, and it's even more duplicitous than the first. The show pits a group of contestants against each other as they scheme and connive to essentially try and find out which one of them are traitors and which one of them are faithfuls in order to win a big cash prize. Joining us today to talk about the show are host and producer Alan Cumming, exec producer Sam Rhys-Jones, and contestants Parvati Shallow and Kate Chasteen. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Before we head to the castle, let's watch a clip.
Keep your enemies close, keep your friends close. Enemies. Okay, Lord. Okay, Lord. Keep your enemies close. Okay, that's the right way. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Y'all gotta get me out of here now. I feel like I'm back in the womb. As far as I'm concerned, this mission could have gone way worse. I got to be in a hammock. I didn't get dirty. I'm considering this a win.
Fast walk, okay? Watch it, though.
Okay, come on. Over the rocks, John, okay.
Parvati and I, she's the leader and I'm the follower. I'm pleased and, yes, a little surprised.
Correct, you've chosen the right path. Well done, Parvati.
Go! Go.
Okay. Correct, let's go. Let's go. Last one, we can do this.
I'm out of breath. My heart is beating. This mission by far is the hardest that I've ever done. But I just gotta keep going.
With 4 pairs lost to the forest, there is now only $8,000 left in play. But there could be an added bonus for our remaining couples. Successfully answer the final question and 2 shields will be awarded to the quickest pair that exit the woods.
We're good, Sandra. Come on, let's go.
Okay, John. The dynamic duo of Parvati and John, it's a sweet bonding moment for me and him. We have 1 question left. We're gonna crush this.
Never did I expect to see the Speaker of the House and someone from Survivor running through the woods together. But thank you for joining us today, Alan. I'll start with you. Season 1 was a breakout success here in the States. How did you feel heading into season 2?
I felt excited. I think it's great when you start a new thing and it's sort of so unusual and sort of a sidestep in terms of what I've done before, and just sort of for it to be so embraced by everybody, and then to get a chance and do it again and use what you've learned in the first season and try and make it even better. It was really great. Then, of course, I don't think any of us could have expected the sort of explosion that happened when the second season came out. So it's a win-win.
Wins, yeah, no, that's fair. When you say you learned some things, can you give us some examples? What were some of the things that you took from season 1 as you were into season 2? Obviously, having done it before.
It was mostly about sort of the boldness of what we were doing and the sort of the kind of nuttiness of the character I was sort of embodying, and even what he was wearing and all that stuff. And I think the more sort of theatrical elements of it that we were sort of maybe a little tentative about in the first season because it was so new, it was great to be able to embrace them fully and to kind of go for it a bit more. And we sort of found our stride, I think, in the tone more in season 2.
Yeah, that's interesting because you wouldn't have necessarily known it was your costumes created quite the buzz in season 1, so you can lean into that a little bit more and the character that you play, I guess, in season 2. Sam, one of the challenges I imagine for you was people had seen the show. When you're making season 1, people don't really know what they're getting into, but I imagine all, if not most, of the contestants will have had an idea in terms of what was going on. How did you figure that out, in terms of the production and the gameplay side of things?
I think actually the challenge was, we really enjoyed that challenge because what I'd say about season 2 is I think we approached it like you would if you were making a murder mystery drama. And any good murder mystery drama is never the same, right? So we sort of wanted to change things up. We didn't want to copy and paste. We wanted to keep the players on their toes, keep the audience on their toes, and I hope we achieved that. And sort of create, kind of, like Alan said, the tone of the show, kind of get deeper into that crazy world that we've created in Scotland.
Yeah, it is a crazy world. I'll come back to some of the sort of specific bits of that. But Kate, you were on season 1. You've done this before. What made you want to come back?
I just thought it was such an amazing opportunity to even be asked back. I imagined the viewers' surprise when I entered the castle again. No one would be expecting that. I just thought for that moment alone, it was so worth the journey and doing it again.
Was there an element of unfinished business?
I mean, I didn't want to do more hikes through the woods, but anything to see Alan's outfits, I would like to win, sure, but it's always a good time out in the castle.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, season 3, season 4, season 5. We'll just keep bringing Kate back, right? Parvati, you are known for Survivor. Talk us through the differences between something like that and a show like The Traitors for you.
Well, you mentioned the outfits. I think that's probably the biggest difference is you, as a contestant, you get to go in there and wear different outfits every day. It's extraordinary. I mean, I brought all my headbands, got glam. I tried to give Alan a run for his money, but there's just no competition with Alan and his looks. So, I mean, I think just the production. Oh yeah, bring some headbands next season.
What about in terms of the gameplay? It's a very different show than you were previously on.
It's very different. In Survivor, I can selectively lie, and lying isn't really my number one skill set. I think it's more about like forming alliances and strategizing, and then kind of working my way through the game that way with the bonds that I've built. But with Traitors, being a traitor and having to lie and having to be accused constantly and keep a straight face and then come up with some kind of reverse lie was really hard for me and required this other level of skill that I had to develop kind of in the moment. And yeah, it was tricky for sure. And all the other contestants there, they were like bringing their A game. I mean, we saw Peter come out guns a-blazing to be the savior of the faithful. So I think it's really interesting when you have this split with traitors and faithful. Sometimes the people will really embody their role that they're given, and they want to like prove that they are the role that they've been given. So that was kind of fun to play with that sort of archetypal experience as well.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I'm going to dance around. I'm sure most people have seen it, but just in case some haven't, I won't give away the full ending. But you had an interesting episode 6 with Dan from Big Brother. There was a bit of a plot twist in that episode, right?
Episode 6 with Dan. Oh yeah, yeah. I think the relationship that I built with Dan served me well, and he didn't come after me when he really could have. So that was really helpful for me. Like I skated by the skin of my teeth in that episode. Not to give too much away.
No, exactly. And Kate, season 1, despite what everyone thought, you were a faithful, but not quite the case in season 2, right?
Right. I was excited to become a traitor just because I wanted to see how the other half lived. I wanted to see the turret, I felt like you had a little power. And boy, was I wrong. It is so difficult. I thought it would be much easier, but it really gets in your head. And that's because they make the experience so immersive. And the game feels like the most important thing in your life while you're there. It really does. I mean, it's crazy, and it's so hard to be a traitor. And I think a lot of people would be surprised how difficult it really is.
Are you talking sort of emotionally? Are you talking physically, or give us an idea why it's harder to be a traitor than a faithful?
Because you think you can tell one white lie and probably get away with it, but when you are telling your entire being is a lie because you're trying to pretend that you're a faithful, and everybody's looking for faithfuls and everybody's looking at each other and accusing people that aren't even traitors, and it's just, it gets in your head. It really does.
Sam, we talked about some of the difference. You added some new areas and some new. The scullery was new. You also made the contestants win the shields in these challenges. Is that just about keeping the format fresh?
Yeah, I mean, the scullery. I mean, the scullery was a great place for sort of, what better place to have a chat than while you're making a coffee, right? And we wanted the castle to feel like the players belong there, and they should sort of go about doing their little bits and bobs. With regards to the missions, I think a key element that we really wanted to make sure was that the missions fed into the game, and adding the shields into it really did that. So we had, so many there was plot twists within those sort of the missions that even we didn't see coming, and Parvati definitely didn't see coming when Peter had his plan. So
I actually did
Oh, you
see
did.
that
You
coming.
did actually. You warned Dan
I
away. You're right.
saw that, but my partner wouldn't listen to me.
You are right.
So it's such a tricky dynamic too, playing with the traitors as a team, because if you don't know that you can trust each other, because we've seen traitors throw each other under the bus and expose one another. It's like you think you have this team that you can rely on, but it's not really 100%. So then even the dynamic in the turret becomes kind of fraught with this layer of paranoia that infuses the whole castle. So, and then you throw the shields in, and then they're like, we're not going to tell you who found the shields. And Alan's like, oh, they're not going to say. And everyone's just like twitching around the castle. Yeah, it's really the intensity gets amplified with those mystery shields.
By the looks of it, Alan, you enjoyed that. How did you find this crop of contestants? In season one, you had a mix of celebrities, reality stars, and civilians. This year, it was all reality stars and celebrities. Was there a difference for you in terms of how they approached things?
I think there was a sort of built-in understanding of being on screen and being and understanding television a bit more. Definitely, there was a little more. Mm-hmm. There's a little less herding I had to do, and I think they definitely. I mean, they came interestingly. They came thinking they understood the game, and the biggest sort of myth that was sort of busted in this series is that the people who play the sort of strategy games, the gamer ones like Survivor and Big Brother and those things, the sort of that was patently obviously not the case when you consider that Mr. Cutie Bachelor was the one who basically sussed things out really fast. And I just found that really fascinating. But what was kind of great was that everybody came sort of camera ready, if you know what I mean, in a way that I think the first season everybody did. And that was really, because it heightens everything and it gets everything going much more quickly. And then it kind of takes it up a notch. And I really loved that. And do you know what's hilarious? This is a cap for a well-known soft drink called La Croix. And I'm at this hotel in Palm Springs and they did a promotion for it the other day. And guess who was one of the people who was doing the promotion thing? I didn't realize until she tagged me on Instagram afterwards.
Peppermint?
Geraldine, the person they couldn't spell her name in the first season. And I didn't realize it was her until afterwards. They got a free cap.
That's amazing.
And a lot of like, isn't that nuts?
Well, it shows how far Traitors have come there, Alan, doesn't it?
No. She said, I know you from the Traitors. And I was like, uh-huh. And then I just kind of took the photo. And I didn't realize she did know me because she was in it.
Sam, was that intentional in the sense of getting these people who are a little bit more camera ready to compete?
I mean, I think the biggest intention was, I mean, I loved our cast for season 2. I thought it was amazing. Listen, the game is only as good as the cast because, you know, we set out the game and it's the game for the players to play. What we wanted to achieve with the casting was, I think, listen, the round table in our show is the beating heart of the show. And it's almost like a judge and jury, isn't it? You know, it's sort of, and we sort of almost treated it like you would with jury selection, where you want a cross selection of people from all walks of life. So, you know, you've got a Survivor player, you know, Kate Chastain, and you've got a politician, sports people, and they're all bringing their own thing, their own unique skills, their own, you know, from their own walk of life. And that's what we found fascinating to watch it unfold and see them all come together or go, you know, or pull apart.
Yeah. No, fair. Final question. You've been picked up for a 3rd season. Have you thought about how that'll shake up? And joking aside, are you thinking about bringing any of these guys back like you did with Kate?
I couldn't possibly reveal who we're going to bring back or if we're going to bring anyone back. But as far as season 3, listen, there's, like I said, this murder mystery is going to take lots of twists and turns. And we're excited to see where it goes. You know, we want to say again, Alan.
There are some good twists. You told me some good ones already.
There's some exciting things planned. We want to keep the players on their toes, and we're looking forward to them keeping us on our toes.
Good. Well, we're looking forward to seeing it. So thank you for joining us today. Thanks, everyone.